weather outside may be frightful and spring seems like an eternity away, but enjoy it while it's here because every day brings us closer to spring. The cars are great, but it's the people that make the shows so much fun. Guys and gals hanging out. Crazy conversations about anything and everything. And the shakers are soaking up the summer sun. I wonder what they're looking at. Who comes to car shows? Everybody comes to car shows. And if there's one thing Windsor has, it's a large selection of those fantastic automobiles.
Fantastic!
This is another look at your Windsor and area classic cars and hot rods. And some of the personalities behind the cars. You know, it's true, there is a story behind every car. Here's Wayne's strange tale about his Model T.
This car was shipped in 1924 from Florida to Uruguay. It was taken out of Uruguay and involved in a bank robbery in Argentina. From there, it was two Canadian engineers were working in Argentina, found this car and brought it back to Canada in the 80s. I found the car. It was sitting in a shipping container for 4.5 years. And I got the car in pieces, and it took me about 5.5 to 6 months to put it back together, and I've been driving it ever since.
This was the getaway car. Wayne has full documentation, including the bullet hole in the driver's door as the bad guys tried to make their escape. They didn't get far. This is Carl's 51 Coupe, with mild customizing here and there. He says not many of these cars are left. And that's Rick's Chevy pickup. Ray and Bev are proud owners of not one, but two 1926 Model Ts. Ray's interest in the Model T comes from his dad.
It goes back to, I guess, when I was a kid. I used to hear my dad used to repair Model Ts in the backyard. And I used to hear all the stories about how they'd break your arm and this and that about them. And I started out working on cars, and I was always intrigued by Model T.
Ray says the Model T may be easy to work on, but it's not without its frustrations. And how about a look under the hood of this Ford pickup? Well, the weather outside may be chilly, but I hope you're feeling a little warmer, remembering those good days in the sun. That's Ron's Monte Carlo. Mike's once Tall T made its first appearance in 2014. A Tall T no more, but rather a 1924 flat top. There's John's 1934 Ford, and more of your local classics. There's John in his LaSalle, and Rob in his Ford. And this is Fred's 58 Parisienne. It was restored from a basket case to a beautiful classic. There's quite a story here.
Parted with her way back in 1965, and by sheer accident, when I was stopped for a short break in my working career, I happened to notice the remains of it in a junkyard where I was parked. And from that point in time on, it came home, and it's been under restoration ever since.
From a basket case to a pristine automobile, Fred says it's like owning a new car, but better. Another pristine car. This is Ed's 56 Chevy Nomad. And Ron found his 56 T-Bird through a tip from Rob Myers of RM Auctions. He bought the car back in '89 out of Kitchener. It's in great shape, and the color makes it a rare T-Bird.
There's only 15,000 Thunderbirds built in 1956, and about 3% of them were painted Fiesta Red.
Ron may have had to put a little work into it, but it was basically in pretty good shape. It's a great driving car, and one that Ron gets a lot of pleasure from. Wow, the time seems to have flown by. That's about it for this edition, but I'll be back with more cars and a series of profiles of local cars and their owners. Until then, stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you in the spring at the car shows and cruise nights.